Did you know that if you experience digestive issues like bloating, gas, constipation, or diarrhea, you might be carrying around up to 40 pounds of toxic waste in your colon that's been stuck there for decades? This waste grows extremely dangerous bacteria that makes you prone to serious infections and disorders like IBS, leaky gut, type 2 diabetes, ulcerative colitis, high cholesterol, and even memory loss conditions. I experienced it the hard way. 2 years ago, after being constipated for over 19 days, and after trying enemas every single morning without success, I got to the ER with my colon one step away from bursting. My pipes were so blocked that the doctor had to manually remove the clogged waste from my intestines. It was the most humiliating experience in my entire life. Never would I have thought this would lead to the discovery of a completely natural and inexpensive method that would help me and thousands of other people across the world quickly and naturally recover from gut diseases, get rid of bloating and gas, and achieve a perfect digestion, all in just 10 seconds a day. Listen, if you're faint of heart, this story might not be for you. But if you are desperately looking for a solution that can keep you away from conditions like IBS, GERD, anal fissures, and hemorrhoids, while flushing out stuck belly fat, crushing sweet cravings, and lowering your blood sugar, then please stick with me until the end of this presentation. If you're wondering why, no matter how healthy you eat and how much water you drink, you still get bloated, gassy, and haven't had a normal poop in what feels like decades, then there's something you need to know. Despite what doctors, big pharma, or commercials have led you to believe, your gut problems have absolutely nothing to do with the foods you eat, nor with what you drink. In fact, they have nothing to do with how much you exercise or what your age is. According to a study conducted by an international team from the University of Michigan Medical School, if your digestion is bad, you're the host of a microscopic blue parasite that's doing serious damage inside your colon as we speak. Even though big pharmaceutical companies are trying to hide this new information that would render their expensive pills useless overnight, world-renowned institutions like the Department of Infection and Immunity from the Luxembourg Institute of Health and the Washington University School of Medicine are now confirming that anyone dealing with occasional or frequent constipation or diarrhea, burning stomach, or stabbing abdominal pain should take action immediately. Don't worry. Once you'll discover everything about this dangerous parasite, you will have the power to completely rebuild your digestive system while detoxifying your body and eliminating unwanted fat and toxins once and for all. No matter your age, gender, weight, or medical condition. No matter how slow you think your metabolism is, how many methods you've tried, or for how long your digestion has been troubling you, whether you suffer from chronic constipation, diarrhea, GERD, or just bloating. This natural method, created by a top Swiss food scientist, can give you the quick, smooth digestion of an 18-year-old in just 10 seconds per day. You won't have to give up any of your favorite foods in the process, stress yourself with daily fiber intake calculators, or set foot in a gym. In the next 5 minutes, you'll find out the little-known tip that helps you poop no matter how constipated you are. Hint, it's a move you do while sitting on the toilet. Why fibers can actually wreck your chances at normal digestion, and the one vegetable you should never ever eat. Which probiotics are a complete waste of money and what you should take instead. The quick belly test you can do at home to find out what's really behind all your digestive problems and whether you need immediate medical attention. And how sprinkling a dark green powder over my breakfast led me to the dirt cheap solution that I'm about to share with you today. Again, it's absolutely crucial you stick with me until the very end of my story. This information might save your life or the life of your loved ones. Just imagine never ever having to worry about what you eat or having to measure the effect of every food. Scared your next bathroom trip will put you through hell. Never feeling bloated. Never dealing with acid reflux. Never fearing a hemorrhoid flare-up or anal tear will ruin your sexual encounters, holidays, or affect your day at work. Never having to hold gas in or go through embarrassing moments, seeing how everyone is disgusted with the smell and sounds that come from your stall. Instead, imagine waking up in a good mood, going to the toilet, eliminating everything easily, and feeling light and free. Imagine seeing how scale numbers keep going down. Imagine buttoning your pants with ease because your belly is flat and your digestion is working like clockwork. All these while you're snacking without guilt, feeling energetic, and stunning everyone with how good and relaxed you look. Just like 447,600 people did. People like Bernie, 65, from Quincy, Massachusetts, who says, "Can't describe how good it feels to go to the toilet every morning, poop easily, with no pain whatsoever, and be done with it in under 3 minutes. Every single time I feel like I'm at least 2 pounds lighter. Thanks, Sam. I am forever grateful." Bernadette Samuels, 45, from Nashville, Tennessee, who wrote to us, "I used to suffer from diarrhea, and wherever I went, I always had to spot the closest bathroom. I've been in way too many humiliating situations to count. Once I clogged the toilet at work, and I could tell my colleagues made cruel jokes about it for months. If I would get out of a bathroom stall at work, they would just turn around and say, they don't really have to go. Thank God this is now over. I feel like I can finally live my life." Bob Sr., 63, from Naples, Florida, who told us, "I always felt like a balloon about to pop, and I had times when I felt like needles were going through my belly. Not to mention those damn hemorrhoids constantly giving me hell. Even though I had surgery 3 times, they reappeared after 4 or 5 months. I still can't believe everything is now gone. I can take my car for long drives and even ride my bicycle again." Cheers to you, Sam. To think how skeptical I was of your method at first. Sounds too good to be true? That's what I thought when I first came across the 10-second morning ritual that I'm about to show you. Hello, my name is Samuel Bart. I'm 49 years old and I live with my wife Alma in Nashville, Tennessee. For the past 25 years, I've been working as a chef for one of the most popular restaurants in my city. If someone had told me a few years ago that my job would lead me to the revolutionary solution that is now changing the lives of thousands of people every single day, I would have laughed in their face. That's because just 2 years ago, I was a wreck. You see, back then, I couldn't remember a time when I didn't have digestive problems. At first, I suffered from bloating, constant gas, and every now and then, acid reflux. After my mid-30s, despite my best efforts to keep everything in check, every year I had to deal with something new. At first, I had a hard time passing stool. I went from 10 minutes to at least 40 minutes of squinting and straining every single day. Then I got severely constipated. I could go just once every 3 or 4 days. It felt so uncomfortable, like I had a bowling ball inside me. Plus, from time to time, I felt stabbing pains all over my stomach. After that, I began gaining weight. I gained 40 pounds in a couple of years, and I swear to you, I was eating only oats, salads, and steamed chicken or fish back then. And if that wasn't enough, one day, after desperately trying to finish the job in the bathroom, I felt a sharp burning pain and saw blood on the toilet paper. When I realized I had to add anal fissures to my long list of illnesses, I was terrified. I thought anal fissures were the worst until I had my first hemorrhoidal crisis. I was unable to sit because I felt like someone was jamming needles in my backside, and I was moody the entire day. From that moment on, I always ate in fear, thinking every bite would cost me excruciating minutes or even hours on the toilet. The most painful part of it was that food was my lifelong passion. That's why I chose a career as a chef. I always envied the lucky bastards who came into my restaurant who carelessly ate spicy steak with cheese-stuffed tacos and the next day had a perfectly normal digestion. And I know that because some of them were my friends. Meanwhile, even though I ate only high-fiber foods, drank gallons of water, and exercised, the next day I would go through the same nightmare. I visited every single gastroenterologist, nutritionist, and alternative doctor in town, and don't you think I didn't try everything they recommended or prescribed to me? In fact, let me save you a lot of money right now. Before telling you about the one method that worked, I will tell you about the ones that did absolutely nothing for me, and why there's a very high chance you'll be wasting your time and energy on them too. First of all, you know everyone is going to pick on your lifestyle choices, assume you have had bad habits, and recommend you to eat a high fiber diet and drink plenty of water. High fiber diets are not a one fit for all solution. If you eat too much fibers, they will swell up in water and can do more harm than good. For example, everyone praises broccoli. But if you have irritable bowel syndrome or IBS, broccoli can be the worst thing to eat. It has fermentable fibers. This means its fibers will ferment inside your gut, leading to gas accumulation and bloating. Ultimately, this will increase the volume of your stool, change its consistency, and will turn your next bathroom break into hell. But let's say the more fiber advice works for you. Deep inside, you know it's not sustainable. Just consider this. According to the American Dietetic Association, if you're over 40, you should try to eat at least 30 grams or more of fiber every day. In 1 month, that would add up to over a couple of pounds of tasteless oats. That's almost the size of a small-sized bag of dog food. Let's face it, who would want to eat this many bland oats every day for the rest of their lives? I mean, I'm a chef, and I still haven't managed to make them tasty. Next, I tried the FODMAP diet. In case you don't know what FODMAP is, this diet is low in FODMAP, meaning certain sugars and fermentable foods like the broccoli I mentioned above. While the main guidelines can really make a difference, every organism is different, and you are still playing the Russian roulette when it comes to how much of one food you can eat. For some, 300 grams of strawberries is a good quantity, while for others, it can be a disaster. I ate an eggplant salad, high in fibers, low in FODMAP, and it still was a disaster the next day. Was it the quantity? Or maybe my body couldn't digest eggplant. Who knows? Now let's talk about medical companies and supplement manufacturers' all-time favorites. Probiotics, or live microorganisms, also called good gut bacteria. While probiotics are undoubtedly good, unfortunately, most of the time, the strains in your supplements are already dead because of poor packaging and handling, meaning you're ingesting dead bacteria that have no effect whatsoever. Secondly, in order to sell more, probiotic brands add as many strains as possible inside the formula without making sure if they interact well with one another. Too many strains only confuses your gut, and if the bacteria strains are not compatible, create a war zone inside your stomach. Last but not least, studies show that 96% of probiotics are being killed in your digestive tract. That's because many of the good bacteria die when they come in contact with stomach acid. Even if the probiotics are the real thing, you first have to ensure that the gut is ready, allowing the good bacteria to take hold and grow. But can an unhealthy gut really provide the best environment for the already fragile probiotics? Now, let's talk about laxatives and antidiarrheals. What I got was more bloating, gas, cramps, nausea, dehydration, headaches, and dizziness. They worked temporarily for me, but I also got addicted to them for a while. Another recommendation you'll hear a lot is go for a walk or jog. But when you're drained of energy because of your poor digestion, or when you feel the unbearable pain from anal fissures and hemorrhoids, can you really walk or run for miles? I could barely sit on an extra soft pillow. As for the alternative remedies like acupuncture, tea, or herbal supplements, while good for temporary relief, they are far from a long-lasting solution. So, no matter what I tried, it was all useless, and after every so-called solution failed, the more anxious I became. Even so, what hurt more than any physical suffering I had to endure was that every single God-given day I had to go through all sorts of embarrassing situations, from nerve-wracking situations like straining on a public gas station toilet while a lot of people were waiting in line, to my incredibly noisy stomach or loud occasional gas I just couldn't hold in. The pressure in my belly was impossible to bear. I couldn't even move to get off the toilet. But no matter how hard I strained, nothing was coming out. When they weren't grossed out by me, my colleagues were laughing behind my back. One time I heard them call me Chef Fart instead of Chef Bart. I was the laughing stock of the entire team I had to coordinate. Things weren't looking better at home either. The only thing that was surely going down the drain was my marriage. Our sex life was non-existent. Even though I could tell she felt terrible, one day Alma asked me to sleep in separate rooms. She didn't want to hurt my feelings, but she couldn't stand it anymore either. I passed way too much gas in my sleep, making the air unbreathable. Sadly, little did I know back then that the worst was yet to come. You see, after years of pooping once every 3 or 4 days and dealing with horrendous pain while doing it, 7 days passed without me being able to eliminate, well, anything. So I went to the doctor, praying they could find a solution for me, and they did. The only solution for me, considering how bad my digestion was to give myself enemas. Listen, I really hope you stick to my story until the end, so you will never ever have to be in the situation I was in. I told you this video is not for those faint of heart because, and please excuse my language, giving yourself enemas while dealing with anal fissures and hemorrhoids is a pain in the ass, literally. So there I was one morning, pathetically lying on one side with my knees pulled up to my chest, giving myself an enema. No matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't succeed. I felt the need to go, only nothing happened in the bathroom. At first I was patient. It's not that big of a deal. It will come. I just need to wait. But then the 4th and the 5th days passed. I could feel myself bloating up. I called my doctor, but he just told me to relax more and give it time. I trusted him. I listened to calming music while spending more than 2 hours in the bathroom hoping. Only nothing seemed to get my body going. I'm starting to freak out. Now, every time I was going to the bathroom, I was in panic. 19 days soon passed. And even though I had a big event coming up at work, all I could think about were my clogged up bowels. So, on the 20th evening, I was at my restaurant. I had just prepared the desserts for an international group of diplomats that had rented the place for an elegant celebration. Suddenly, I felt an acute pain in my lower stomach, like someone was stabbing me. A wave of nausea and dizziness swept over me, and I crashed to the floor. Alarmed, my colleagues called 911 and the most nightmarish night of my entire life began. As soon as they arrived, paramedics put me on a stretcher and decided it was best to carry me out through the main salon of the restaurant. All eyes were on me. Every diplomat in the room, every client, every colleague, and the restaurant's manager. And while everyone was looking at me in complete awe, no matter how badly I grinded my teeth and tried to refrain myself, my stomach growled like a wounded animal and I passed the loudest gas ever. Even the paramedics flinched and stopped for a second. I could hear it and see it all. The murmurs, the repulsion in the client's eyes, the shame on my boss's face, my coworkers laughing to tears. It was unbearable. When I finally arrived in the ER room, the nurses tried to give me an enema 3 times. That's right. Even now, I can still feel the burning, stabbing sensation in my orifice. They kept telling me to relax, but how could I after everything? The pain was so intense, my body just wanted to eject everything, but all of my pipes were so tense. I felt like a cow in the vet's office with all the medical stuff probing up my ass. They told me that after 20 days of not pooping, my colon was 1 step away from bursting. And the only way to prevent that was for the doctor to manually remove my feces. There was no way around it. The doctor had to shove his entire hand up my intestines so I wouldn't die of constipation. There was no time for anesthesia. They just did it. At the end, they had removed kilos of poop, at least half a bucket. The next day after this operation, I wished the earth would just swallow me up. I couldn't look anyone in the eyes, the medical staff, my wife, and I hoped I would never ever meet the doctor again. The 5 days I spent in the hospital, my brain kept replaying the shameful scene mercilessly. All I could see were the embarrassed, disgusted faces of everyone who had looked at me as I was being carted off to the ambulance. But while my mind was in a really bad place, my body felt reborn. Something inside me had changed. I felt light as a feather. I was full of energy. My face was glowing. After returning home, my belly got smaller and smaller. I wasn't bloated anymore, and I could poop normally for about a week. When I weighed myself, I was 14 pounds down. The most surprising thing, even though anal fissures heal incredibly slow, if ever, this time they healed in 7 days or so, which was amazing considering what I had been through. I dared to hope I was finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. By removing that big clog of poop, Somehow the doctor unlocked my digestion forever. But after 2 weeks or so, one by one, my symptoms came back. I was crushed. I had been so full of hope, and now all I could think about was that I might end up in that ER room once again. I couldn't help but think, was this how I was going to spend my life? Crouching on the toilet for hours, tormented by gas and anal fissures, having to hide my misery from others, unwanted and alone. Always on a diet, giving up the foods I love, giving up my social life, and still be in danger of colon rupture? I couldn't possibly keep living like that. I had to do something. I had to find a solution, one that didn't require pills, doctors, or surgeries. I knew all too well the only thing those methods did was suck you dry of money and energy while making you go through even more humiliating moments. So, after tossing and turning all night, one morning I got in front of my computer and I started my research. I had to find something, anything, through all the online articles, studies, and forums. There was one particular question that kept bugging me. Why can some people eat whatever they want and never have gut problems, while others get instantly constipated even from eating healthy foods? The rest of my medical leave, day in and day out, I looked for an answer, digging through thousands of studies, articles, books, and scientific databases, trying to find out what healthy people had that I didn't. I was about to discover that it was quite the opposite. I had something inside my guts that looked like it was from a science fiction movie. Those aren't even my words, but the words of the medical researchers who made the discovery. I'll tell you everything about it in a second. You see, every bite of food you take needs to slide on your gut lining like on a water tube. That's because from the small intestine to the colon, everything is covered by a mucus layer. This slippery mucus layer not only eases the absorption of nutrients and vitamins, but also helps the colon form and pass the stool through. So, if in the morning your piping works smoothly, that's because you have a healthy, slippery gut lining. If not, there's something you need to hear. According to a recent study conducted by an international team from the University of Michigan Medical School, if your digestion is bad, you're the host of a blue parasite that's eating at your colon's lining. Also called the gut piranha, scientists from world-renowned institutions like the Department of Infection and Immunity from the Luxembourg Institute of Health and the Washington University School of Medicine confirmed that the root cause of all digestive problems is a microbe that begins to eat their host from within. The gut piranha munches on the natural layer of mucus that lines the gut, eroding it to the point where your colon wall loses its crucial slippery quality. Therefore, the food leftovers or your stool cannot slide normally anymore. You can eat the healthiest foods in the world, it won't matter. Next thing you know, your intestines get clogged fast because several parts of your stool can't slide anymore. They coat the interior walls of your colon similarly to how pipes get clogged. When this happens, you can see it in your poop. For example, your poop has all sorts of irregular shapes. Parts of your poop can be small, hard lumps, while others can have a mushy consistency. Some stools can be very large in circumference and therefore really painful. That's because chunks of the clogs come off from the big from time to time as they are pushed by the impact with the new leftovers. Because they do not come from the same leftover batch, your colon assembles them in irregular shapes, just like puzzle pieces that do not fit together. The fact that some chunks come from older poop that has been stuck inside you, while others come from a newer batch, makes for a weird consistency. Depending on your body, this consistency might be hard, constipation, or even liquid, diarrhea. This means your body is desperately trying to get leftovers past the clog and eliminate them. But make no mistake, the poop clogs are never completely eliminated, and most of this poop is old and toxic. Actually, medical studies have shown that we are carrying anywhere from 20 to 40 pounds of waste in our colon from old food that has stuck inside your walls over the decades. Plus, with your gut layer having lost its lubrication, every bit of food that passes through your intestines can cause pain. So when you feel that sharp pain in your stomach, that's not always trapped gas. That's your colon getting scratched by dry poop and leftovers. From that point on, you are in danger of intestine rupture. Not only have the gut piranha eaten an important part of your intestine, but they have also weakened the material of your piping. On the other hand, the leftovers keep accumulating. The clogs grow bigger and bigger every single day until they start pushing through the walls. If feces and gas continue to build up in the colon, your large intestine may eventually rupture. If your colon bursts, your life is in immediate danger. Take a look at this article. It sent shivers down my spine. To think what could have happened to me after 20 days, I thought I had bad luck when, in fact, I was extremely lucky. Worst thing, you don't need a huge hole for your colon to burst. Even a microscopic tear is enough for feces, toxic microbes, and bacteria to leak into your stomach and bloodstream, causing severe infection and putting every organ at risk. If you're wondering whether your digestive issues are caused by this gut piranha eating away your intestine lining, all you have to do is answer this simple question. Do you ever feel stabbing pain below your belly button? If the answer is yes, then the chances are very high. Also, even though it is hard to hear, I cannot stress this enough. If you feel a stabbing pain in your lower abdomen, you might also be in danger of colon rupture. So please be careful. Honestly, the more I read about the gut piranha, the more frightened I got. At the same time, after so many years, it felt good to know what was wrong with me. I understood why nothing worked. Even if I were to eat like the healthiest diet in the world, the leftovers would still get stuck inside my colon. No matter what pills I ingested, the pills would get stuck as well because, just like food, the pills need to slide on the gut lining as well. And no matter how many probiotics I took, the gut piranha would devour any good bacteria on the spot. But there was always a silver lining. During my research, I came across a very useful tip, confirmed by hundreds of people to work. I used it myself, and it helped me a few times until I found the solution that I'm about to share with you. Rock back and forth on the toilet to relieve your bowels. It will help you eliminate poop sooner, or if you're dealing with diarrhea, it will shorten your trips to the bathroom and even decrease their number because every time you will eliminate more of the stored feces. It will not solve the root cause of your problems, but it might make things easier for you from time to time, which is still something. But worry not, I will show you immediately what you can do starting today to get rid of the gut piranha and reclaim your digestive health. So, 1 month after getting out of the hospital, I was stuck. Even though I had discovered the root cause of all my digestive problems, I didn't know what I could do about it. And nor did I have time to think about it because I had to leave for a World Chefs Congress in Switzerland. I was in no mood for it, but my boss had paid for my trip months in advance and he was expecting me to be there, all eyes and ears. Could I have said no, considering the ER episode from the restaurant? So, after a 10-hour flight that took a toll on my already damaged body, there I was, surrounded by world-renowned chefs, nutritionists, and food journalists. Exhausted, I wasn't in the right state of mind to socialize, so I just observed the people around me. What caught my attention was something that happened every single day during breakfast. One of the chefs at my table, I will call him Chef John to protect his identity, sprinkled what looked like a gray-green powder over his food. At first I thought it was some kind of spice mix, but let's be serious. He was putting it on everything, from scrambled eggs to Belgian waffles. No spice works with everything, so that was pretty peculiar. One day a food journalist asked him, "Is that some kind of secret ingredient?" He replied simply, "No, that's just something I'm doing to improve my digestion." Overhearing that, I knew I had to find out what it was. Since it was the day before my departure, I was very direct. I introduced myself, told him all about my problems and how grateful I would be if he shared his secret ingredients with me. Lucky for me, Chef John was very nice and open about it. When he told me what it was, my jaw dropped. John had very similar gut problems to mine, but he also had a brother who had a PhD in nutrition and was a top food scientist. His brother analyzed the nutritional content of foods and discovered what foods were best for digestion by using chemistry and biology. He had also told John to sprinkle the powder over his food, as John's gut issues were so bad that he could barely cook and taste the food for his restaurant in Geneva. Now he was feeling better, but was not completely recovered. One thing leading to the other, I told John about my discovery and asked him whether I could show it to his brother. We scheduled a video call that very evening. I can still remember how surprised and thrilled John's brother, Dr. M, was by my research. He said that by adding a few natural ingredients to John's powder, we could actually have a formula so potent that it could wipe out the gut piranha and fix the lining. I couldn't believe my ears. Was he willing to help us? Yes, he was willing to do everything it took if that meant his brother and honest people like myself would gain their health back. So, even though the next day I had to fly back home, we worked together through video calls. Dr. M was testing formulas, mixing and matching different herbs and powders inside his laboratory in Switzerland, while John and I were digging after the purest ingredients. We were talking to local growers all over the world, making sure only fresh plants, spices, and herbs reached Dr. M's lab. After testing over 120 formulations, we made sure that we got the right quantities and the most effective combination until we finally created an all-powerful, 100% natural, detoxifying, and highly active mixture. By now, you must be very curious and anxious to find out what this ultimate solution contains, and most importantly, how does it work and why does it work so incredibly well? Here's the short step-by-step explanation of each powerful ingredient and the effects they have on your colon, digestion, and whole body. Let's start with the secret Swiss ingredient that made Chef John's powder a lifesaver: Swiss bentonite clay. So, step 1. Dissolve, vacuum, and drain out every parasite and stuck clog with Swiss clay and psyllium husk. Our formula contains the purest organic form of Swiss bentonite clay. If you are reluctant to eat clay, I totally understand. I was too at first. What you need to know is that studies have not shown any side effects of using bentonite clay in recommended amounts. Moreover, this clay has been used for more than 114 years as an absorbent and cleaner. This special type of clay absorbs any parasite and leftover that's stuck to your colon walls like a super strong vacuum. Then, thanks to its extremely slippery texture that's formed in contact with your body fluids, it pushes them away. Basically, Swiss clay has a special nutrient that binds onto parasites, food leftovers, and poop clogs and draws everything outside the body. What makes it an extremely fast cleanser is that it can absorb up to 40 times its weight in old intestinal matter and waste. But you do not have to believe us. There are over 1,000 publications on bentonite clay, which include 28 extensive clinical trials that show its benefits. Our clay has been proven effective by a clinical study on 524 people, done by a team of leading medical doctors and nutrition experts. While it acts like a gentle Drano for the colon, it acts like a Terminator for the gut piranha, always on a search and eradicate mission. In a study from Arizona State University, bentonite clay was found to be highly effective at killing MRSA, as well as Salmonella, E. coli, and others. This is extremely important, especially since dirty colon is the ideal breeding ground for harmful intestinal parasites, toxins, and bad bacteria. In fact, according to the Centers for Disease Control, estimated 100 million Americans have some type of unwanted living organisms called parasites living inside their bodies right now. As an added benefit, one study from 2016 found that ingesting a clay product helped reduce weight gain among those eating a high-fat diet. Now, in order to triple the power of the Swiss clay, we've paired it with psyllium husk. High in slippery mucilage, this anti-inflammatory plant normalizes the bowel action and speeds up the fecal matter, evacuating the clogs and parasites that were collected by the clay even faster. Moreover, it covers with its lustrous mucilage the dry, raw areas of the intestines until they recover after the parasite attack. Step 2. Rebuild and reload your colon with the healthy intestinal flora it needs for a clockwork digestion. There is only one probiotic strain strong enough to fight the gut piranha and restore the gut lining, L. acidophilus. These healthy bacteria survive the acid barrier in your stomach and reach your colon to reestablish your gut flora. From this point on, every piece of food gets broken down quickly and easily. No fermentation, no gas, no bloating. While doing this, L. acidophilus prevents any other harmful bacteria from colonizing the intestines and ensures the lining of the intestines stays intact. This is also the moment when you say goodbye to fat clogs. A 2015 study clearly showed that taking L. acidophilus over the course of 6 weeks significantly lowers LDL cholesterol. Another good thing is now you don't have to buy a separate and expensive probiotic supplement any longer. Our probiotics are alive and kicking and extremely resistant. Step 3. Nourish and double power up your intestinal flora to bulletproof your entire digestive system. No matter how good the probiotics are, they won't thrive unless you feed them the right nutrients to grow strong. These specific nutrients are called prebiotics. That's why we decided we won't stop at probiotics. We made sure we made the L. acidophilus undefeatable by nourishing them with the best prebiotics. That being said, our formula is a symbiotic one. It combines the only probiotics that matter with extremely potent prebiotics, focusing on the complete synergy between them. First prebiotic we added, black walnuts. In addition to being a superfood, black walnuts act as a prebiotic for L. acidophilus, significantly strengthening and reshaping the gut bacteria community. After an extensive experiment, Dr. Byerly, the research team lead of the LSU Health New Orleans, concluded, "We found that walnuts in the diet increased the diversity of bacteria in the gut." At the same time, when taken as a prebiotic, black walnuts reduce the symptoms of inflammatory bowel disease and have been associated with reduced cardiovascular disease risk, slowing tumor growth, and improved brain health. We were very careful where we sourced our black walnuts from. It had to be from trees planted in the open. This way, we made sure the walnuts had grown freely and fully, and that their properties were intact. Let's talk about aloe vera, more specifically the North African aloe vera. There are 26 types of aloe vera, and we made sure our formula contains a concentrated form of the most effective one. With 39 minerals and amino acids, this aloe vera clears your body of bad bacteria, metabolic waste, and fights off inflammation. When it comes to prebiotics, aloe vera is jam-packed. Researchers observed that the plant boosted the concentration of L. acidophilus from 5% to 25% over a short period of time, and it improved its lifespan. At the same time, aloe vera is extremely acid tolerant and can easily survive in your gastric juices in order to support your flora. Extremely rich in antioxidants, it prevents cell deterioration by protecting your intestines lining, eliminating cramps or muscle spasms, and increasing stamina. Finally, we get to the favorite food of probiotics, glucomannan. Glucomannan is a water-soluble dietary fiber extracted from the root of the elephant yam, also known as konjac. Konjac glucomannan is unique because it feeds the friendly bacteria in the colon and keeps them safe while they develop by boosting your immune system. At the same time, it reduces the absorption of fat and sugar from the gut, starving the bad bacteria and supporting weight loss. Glucomannan can also keep your weight in check by speeding up the breakdown of carbs and giving you a sensation of fullness. After adding these extremely potent prebiotics, we thought about all the collateral damage that years of bad digestion might have done to the body. In order to repair and rejuvenate the entire organism, we've added 4 more key plants and seeds. Organic flax seeds for resistant hair and tonified skin. Vitamin-rich prune for well-built muscles and bones and a healthy blood pressure. Oats that contain a unique group of antioxidants known to protect against heart disease, memory loss, and anxiety. And for a complete and full detox, concentrated apple pectin. Apple pectin flushes out heavy metals and reduces the side effects of exposure to radiation. After putting the last touches, Dr. M sent me a bottle with the mix. I just had to take 1 tablespoon every morning with a big glass of water. Piece of cake, really. In the first days, nothing really happened. Maybe I felt a bit less bloated, but I wasn't sure. I was a bit discouraged, I have to admit, but Chef John called me every day to lift my spirits. But at the end of the first week, something had clearly changed. I was definitely not bloated anymore and had way fewer stomach cramps. The following weeks, it was like one miracle after another. First, no more gas. Then I pooped normally for the first time in years. At first I was worried the effect wouldn't last, but that wasn't the case. Day after day, at 9 a.m. or so, I went to the toilet and in 7 minutes I was done. I felt lighter and more energetic every day. And it wasn't just a feeling, the scales proved it. I dropped about 25 pounds in the first phase of the testing. Shortly after that, my anal fissures and hemorrhoids disappeared, like they were never there to begin with. And I never got them again. You can imagine I was in the best mood one could be. No more stress, no more anxiety, and my libido was through the roof. My wife could barely believe my transformation. On one evening, I ate a big cheese lasagna and had a lava cake for dessert. The next day, my piping was still working great. On the other side of the phone line, Chef John was as equally amazed by the effects he was experiencing after taking our formula. Seeing our progress, we posted an announcement on various forums and support groups for people with digestive disorders, asking them to discreetly test out our pure organic formula. We were lucky enough to gather 75 volunteers. They each received a daily report form to follow their progress. I was prepared to wait at least 2 weeks for the initial reports to come back, but what happened exceeded even our wildest dreams. Even after a couple of days, we were getting call after call from everyone in the study claiming their digestion was as good as it could be. They felt completely normal again. They could eat and drink whatever they wanted, and their transit was still perfect. Even those who dealt with IBS or lactose intolerance for as long as they could remember could still enjoy their favorite foods. When we went to collect the final reports from the other subjects in our initial study, the results we saw were astounding. Not a single person reported bloating, stomach troubles, constipation, or diarrhea. Most of them claimed they were losing pound after pound and their belly was now flatter. Some of them were amazed how good their skin and hair looked, while others couldn't believe their fatigue, brain fog, and anxiety were gone. One thing was sure, all of them looked and felt at least 10 years younger. So much that their friends, family, and colleagues were left dumbfounded every time they saw them. To think all they had to do was to use a pain-free, natural mixture. After seeing all the results and messages, it was clear we couldn't keep this life-saving treatment all to ourselves. Especially since everyone in the study kept asking us for more of our magic mix for them and for their close ones. I'll read you just a couple of messages. Quote, "My mom needs to bring down her cholesterol levels. She tried everything and the numbers are just going up. We don't know what to do anymore. Please help us. I am so worried." Unquote. "My sister has gained 40 pounds after her second child and now she is type 2 pre-diabetic. Her husband left her and the kids. The doctor told her she needs to lose weight fast or else." Or, quote, "I've been single for over 5 years because my hemorrhoids make it impossible for me to be intimate with anyone. I have your email from a friend who took part in your experiment. Please help." Unquote. Back then, we had no idea how we were going to do it, but one thing was sure, we couldn't ignore the hundreds of cries for help. We surely needed to make our discovery accessible to as many people as possible. After all, our formula was a work of art. Highly absorbable, pure, and powerful enough to fight the gut lining, eating microbes. More importantly, the mix fitted all conditions. Our cleansing formula, besides helping you flush the colonies of gut piranha currently munching at your colon lining, also neutralizes the effect of any other bad bacteria or microbes you might inadvertently come in contact with. So you won't need to worry about bad bacteria ruining your digestion anymore. As long as you keep taking the mix, you'll be safe. Moreover, you won't have to worry about toxins or fat sticking to your colon walls anymore, because anything that your body doesn't need will just slip right through your intestines. At the same time, this doesn't mean that you'll have to take the supplement for the rest of your life. On the contrary, just a couple of bottles or more, depending on your internal level of microbes and bad bacteria present, can help your body create its own defense mechanisms and become immune to the dangerous gut-destroying germs. However, we still needed to find a way to get our formula in as many hands as possible. If we were to produce the formula ourselves, we had to spend days trying to source the purest ingredients from all over the world and thousands of dollars to buy them. Then weeks to extract them from plants. At the end, we had to adjust the ratios with incredible precision. The result? We would have enough natural pills to last 30 people for a week or so. We needed a much better plan. So Dr. M suggested that we buy the ingredients in bulk and contact a large, modern, yet discreet manufacturing facility in the USA that could take care of everything. This way, all three of us, his brother included, could produce this potent mixture in the quantity we wanted and in the form of an organic supplement. So we started asking for recommendations in our community and asked our test subjects to help us. When it came to the quality of ingredients, we had one non-negotiable request. They needed to be the real thing. Pure and active, the plants needed to be sourced from local growers that let them naturally reach their full maturity and use no herbicides, while the good bacteria needed to be alive and kicking. 100% effective, prepared the right way and in the right amount in order to keep their properties intact. Safely processed under strict sterile standards with regularly disinfected equipments. You wouldn't believe how many counterfeits are on the market. I remember we jumped for joy when we found a facility that was both FDA registered and GMP certified that had a high-level disinfection policy to keep any germs or viruses at bay. Since the proprietary blend was 100% natural, I didn't have to wait for approval to make the first batch. We called it SynoGut, the only 100% natural blend that addresses the root cause of digestive disorders, the gut lining eating microbes. We've sourced the purest, highest quality 10 ingredients and put the exact quantities into a pure, detoxifying supplement that combines symbiotics and a rare type of gut-repairing bentonite clay. Every single natural pill is manufactured in the USA in our FDA-approved and GMP-certified facility under sterile, strict, and precise standards. We are regularly disinfecting the equipment used to process the ingredients and package our bottles. SynoGut does not contain any dangerous stimulants or toxins, and it's not habit-forming. And while getting rid of your digestive problems is easy as apple pie with SynoGut, the formula is so powerful that it can do what no other pill or intervention out there can. Because it does not only target every single trace that the gut piranha left in your body and repairs it, clearing your body of toxic clogs, fat, and helping you poop smoothly every single morning. It rebuilds your gut and digestive system from the inside out, while balancing your blood sugar levels and helping you lose weight, keeping you fit, young-looking, and healthy well into old age, without you needing to pay a single penny on treatments or interventions that barely have any effect. 447,600 people, and counting, have already rejuvenated their digestive system with SynoGut. Janine Keller, 47, from Buffalo, New York, says, quote, "SynoGut is the best. I feel so light, so liberated, and I've also lost quite a few pounds. My hair looks better than ever, and I have a lot of energy," unquote. Thomas Jacobs, 52, from Macon, Georgia, wrote to us, quote, "There's no nice way to say this. Every time I tried to poop, I feared I would push my colon out. I sweated like a pig on the toilet for hours and nothing. Getting SynoGut was the best decision ever. I can eat whatever I want, trusting that every single morning, around 8 or so, everything goes smoothly." Alice, ST, 39, from Dallas, Texas, told us, quote, "My husband never said it out loud, but I could tell my bloated belly turned him off. I tried everything from eating more fibers to diets and yoga. Only SynoGut made a huge difference for me. I'm never giving it up. It saved my health and my sex life," unquote. All you have to do in order to experience the same amazing results in your gut health is to start using this convenient and easily absorbable supplement as soon as possible. The solution is much simpler than you'd think, and you can get access to everything in the next 90 seconds. Now, knowing all of this, it's obvious why SynoGut dominates any other option to fixing your digestion. Nothing else out there proved to work long term. Instead, SynoGut is a completely natural and 100% effective way of destroying the gut piranha that are devouring your colon's lining, sentencing you to a life of humiliating digestive diseases and even intestine rupture. Of course, you could put your hopes into a high-fiber diet and drink water until you feel like puking, but let's be honest, more fibers is not a one-fit-for-all solution. Just a bit too much fiber can cause unwanted fermentation in your colon and lead to gas accumulation, bloating, and ultimately constipation or diarrhea. More fibers can give you the exact problems that they should treat. Not to mention, you'd have to count and eat bland oats for the rest of your life. Maybe you're thinking about trying out new probiotics. As I've already mentioned, their manufacturers are more interested in profits than in the quality of the product. Most of the probiotic strains are already dead because of the packaging. If some of them are not dead, studies have shown that 96% of them die when they come in contact with your stomach acid. And even if you are lucky and buy the real deal, your gut has to be a welcoming environment for the good bacteria to grow and develop. But can an unhealthy gut really be a welcoming environment? Or you could trust the medical system and say yes to one of those costly surgeries that promise to fix your anal fissures or hemorrhoids. But these operations are almost always useless. Listen, if your doctor is truly honest, he or she will tell you that very few people benefit from digestive medication or surgeries. And even then, the positive effects are temporary. They won't get you truly well in a million years because they are powerless against the real root cause of all your digestive problems. Unlike SynoGut that can get the job done while helping you lose weight and keeping you safe from other disorders. Now, if you're ready to say yes to this big change, you first need to ask yourself, how much is it worth to you to be in full control of the way you feel and look? No fears, no health risks, and all your friends and family amazed by how good you look and how energetic you are? Just take a second. Imagine how much that would be worth. $100,000? $10,000? $5,000? Even though Dr. M recommended we sell a 30-day supply of SynoGut for no less than $997, considering the 2 years of research, work, and tests that we've invested in this perfectly concentrated formula, and even though my wife suggested $597, seeing how I am a whole new person now, while our suppliers would have asked for $397 just for the high quality of the ingredients. And even though many of the 447,600 people who got to experience SynoGut said they would gladly pay triple, thinking how pleasantly easy it is to use. This isn't about money for me. I'll never forget what I felt when I was in the ER room. The horror of the enema not working while my colon was on the verge of bursting. Nor will I forget the humiliation of the doctor having to remove my feces manually, or the gruesome trips to the bathroom, all while having to deal with the vicious mockery from my colleagues. I never want anyone to feel as humiliated, angry, or helpless as I did. That's why I'll never ask for $597 or $397 or half of that. I just want to cover the cost of the ingredients and keep this site running for as long as I can. Even though I'll have to charge $99 for one bottle of SynoGut soon, and one bottle is surely a lot less than a visit to the doctor. Only while this website remains online, which may not be that long given the incredible threat it poses to big pharmaceutical companies and diet gurus, you can get your very own 30-day supply of SynoGut for a one-time, 100% risk-free investment of $69. That's right, just $69. And that's not all. If you order 3 or 6 months package, we'll give you an even bigger discount. Here's why. Both Dr. M and I have seen the effects of SynoGut on a lot of patients and have run a lot of tests. That's why we recommend you take the supplement at least 90 days, just to make 100% sure there's not a single trace of microbes lurking inside your gut, eating at the slippery lining. Honestly, we cannot estimate exactly how many colonies of microbes are inside you right now, nor how much damage they've done inside your body. Maybe your gut lining is slightly eroded here and there. Maybe you have minuscule holes in your gut, or, God forbid, you're a few steps away from colon rupture. This depends on many factors, like on the strength of your immune system, your genetics, where you live, or on your lifestyle choices. That's why, as a rule of thumb, after seeing the positive results of more than 447,600 people, we recommend you take, at the very least, 3 bottles, especially since it could take more than 75 days to make sure your entire gut is cleared of the gut piranha and damage repaired. Plus, 3 bottles bulletproof your entire digestive system against any harmful microbes and dangerous bacteria while developing a long-lasting colony of good bacteria. Also, 3 bottles have the power to fight off anal fissures and hemorrhoids by rejuvenating and strengthening every inch of your gut lining from beginning to end. Or, if you want to flush out fat and bad cholesterol from your body and lose those stubborn extra pounds while enjoying a flat belly and a toned, glowing skin, 6 bottles of SynoGut are all you need. Because that's what 6 bottles of SynoGut can do. They can create a gut lining so good and lustrous that it will be like Teflon for fat. Make no mistake, every extra bottle of SynoGut will bring you more and more benefits. This is especially important if you want to increase energy, boost mood, and have your nails and hair looking their best. I'm sure you've heard that most of the diseases, from skin problems to autoimmune diseases, heart disease, early aging, and even mental issues such as brain fog, forgetfulness, and depression, have all been tied to an unhealthy digestive system. And we really believe that if you fix your gut, you have the chance to fix any other disease you have. Your body gets incredibly strong because it can finally extract the best out of every bite you take and flush out everything that is not good. Of course, this doesn't happen overnight, and anyone who is telling you that you will get permanent results in just a few days is lying. That's why we recommend you invest in more bottles today. You deserve it, and your health is the most precious thing anyone can have. Besides, there's one more crucial thing that you need to know. Missing just 1 day of SynoGut might compromise weeks of progress. Each day, the second you wake up, you'll be feeling light and energetic, confident that your digestion will work perfectly every single hour. But if you hit the stop button on the cleansing and nourishing ingredients of SynoGut for just 1 day, it might take weeks or even months to get them working at full capacity again. Until then, the gut piranha might multiply and cause harm again. So you might lose some of the benefits. Not going to lie to you. So don't risk running out of SynoGut. Please take into account that SynoGut is selling incredibly fast. And once it will be sold out, it will take us 6 to 9 months to produce a new batch, as we're willing to accept only the purest ingredients Otherwise, its efficiency would be compromised. Of course, we're committed to supporting you every way that we can, so we're going to let you order a batch of 3 bottles or 6 bottles for a huge discount. You won't be seeing SynoGut anywhere in stores, so secure your stocks now at the lowest price possible. Plus, with every order made today, you also get free shipping. How does that sound? Take a look below. Once you order, you'll be taken to a secure checkout page. Just fill in your payment details using a credit card, debit card, or PayPal. Immediately after you fill in your information and confirm your order, your bottles of SynoGut will be shipped for free right to your doorstep. If you order the 3 bottles or 6 bottles package, which we recommend as we estimate we'll run out of stocks anytime soon, you'll also take advantage of a huge discount. Just click below to select your package. Your order today is a one-time payment with no subscription or hidden charges. All you need to keep in mind is that SynoGut can be found only on this page, and it is not available for purchase anywhere else. This is your only chance to grab this exclusive formula. Once again, SynoGut is selling very fast, and once it will be sold out, it will take us 6 to 9 months to restock the rare ingredients and produce another batch. Plus, remember that missing 1 day of SynoGut can compromise a full month of progress. So, if I were to give you just one piece of advice, this would be, don't risk running out of SynoGut. Listen, by 2026, it's estimated that the digestive health products market will reach $63.62 billion. That's more money than one can count or even imagine. No wonder big pharma companies have been mercilessly hunting down anyone who dares to make public a natural, easy, alternative solution to their overpriced, useless pills that don't even address the root cause. They can smell where money is coming from. I am getting threats almost every day. After all I've been through, risking my family's safety is not something that I can do for a long time, as you can imagine. Please make your choice today while this site is still up. If you're skeptical, we totally understand. You've tried a lot of methods. You've spent a lot of money, went through so much pain, and nothing worked. I am so confident that SynoGut works that I am going to give you our ironclad 60-day money-back guarantee. If you don't experience any dramatic improvement or you're not content for any reason whatsoever, we will issue a full refund, no questions asked. All you need to do is contact us within the first 60 days from your purchase. It doesn't matter if you used up the entire bottle, we will still give you your money back. This means you have 2 whole months to decide if SynoGut is for you or not. No hidden fees or subscriptions, just a safe and secure, one-time, simple. Choose the package you want below. Listen, when you think about it, you really have only 2 choices ahead of you right now. Option 1, stop following this presentation and leave this page. Do nothing. Keep going the way you are now, fearing every bite you eat and how you are going to poop it out. Always feeling like your belly is about to pop, surrounded by a cloud of smelly gas and humiliated by the judgmental looks of the people around you. Always prone to anal fissures, hemorrhoids, and weight gain. Spending your days in pain, discomfort, and shame, coming up with excuses every time you don't feel well, doing this for months, years, or even decades. It's not going to be pleasant. Option 2, risk nothing at all today. Grab SynoGut right now, and you'll be surprised at how well it works and how good it feels to have a perfectly smooth digestion. So just click below to make your choice, enter your payment details on our secure order form, and place the order now. We'll immediately ship your bottles directly to your home. Every order comes with free shipping no matter where you live. I can't wait for you to experience every single benefit that SynoGut has to offer. Still here? Great! I wanted to take a second and answer the most common questions I get about SynoGut. I just want to make you feel 100% comfortable with your decision to order today. 1. How and why does SynoGut work? SynoGut Pro works in a very simple yet powerful way. As the latest scientific research has shown, if your digestion is bad, you're the host of a parasite that's eating your colon's lining. Since your stool can't slide normally anymore, parts of it get stuck one over the other until they pile up and clog your intestines, putting you at risk of intestine burst. SynoGut mixes powerful symbiotics and a rare type of bentonite clay that fight the threatening germs and profoundly clean your intestines, while repairing the gut lining and feeding the good bacteria in your stomach for a perfect digestion. 2. Is SynoGut safe? SynoGut has been designed for all ages and medical conditions. Addressing the root cause of all of your digestive problems, dangerous parasites eating your gut lining, is the most important thing you can do today for long-lasting results now and well into old age. SynoGut has high-quality natural ingredients manufactured in an FDA-approved facility under sterile, strict, and precise standards. Each of the ingredients that goes into SynoGut is tested for purity and to ensure against toxins and contaminants. So, rest assured, it's safe. As always, if you currently have a medical condition or you're taking other prescription medication, we advise you to show a bottle of this supplement to your doctor before you take it, just to put your mind at ease. 3. When should I take SynoGut? We recommend you take 2 capsules with a big glass of water in the morning for a deep cleanse that clears your intestines, repairs your gut lining, and gives you a smooth digestion. 4. What if it doesn't work for me? Can you tell me about the guarantee again? The more results we see, the stronger we believe SynoGut has the power to completely transform your digestive system. It's true, though, that nothing works for 100% of the people who try it, as each body works in its own way. That's why every bottle of SynoGut comes with an ironclad 60-day money-back guarantee. If, for any reason, you aren't fully satisfied with the results, you can just return what you haven't used for a full, no questions asked refund. 5. How long will this supplement be available to the public? Well, I'm not really sure, but history has shown us that Big Pharma is not afraid to spend millions of dollars in legal fees to remove something that threatens its very existence. After all, it makes sense. Wouldn't you spend $1 million in lawyer costs to protect the billions per year you make? So, all you have to do today is click below, fill in your payment details on our secure order form, and submit your order. I can't wait to hear your success story.